Yeah, boss.
You ever think about plants?
What about them?
They're weird, right? They just sit there, growing, watching, judging you.
I don't think plants watch you, boss. They don't have eyes.
Potatoes have eyes.
I guess.
Vegapygmies have eyes.
Are they plants, though? Thought they were more of a fungus.
You're more of a fungus.
I'm a skulk.
Wrath.
Yes, F?
Shut up.
You're the boss.
I didn't think about fungus, though. That makes it even worse. Even more things out there. Thinking. Watching. Plotting.
This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine. Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play podcast that keeps spare rat faces on hand in case of emergency. I'm your host, Sam, and here's everybody.
Hello, Sam.
Ew.
I was waiting for this.
Are you talking about my face? That's not very nice, Sam.
Oh,
I didn't
no,
invent
Zach,
rat
your
faces.
face. Oh. I'm sorry.
Steal a line blatantly from the McElroys. I never thought about blaming God for rats before, but you're right.
Well, when last we left our adventure, the party decided to split once more with one group. Well, first they went to the Temple of Bry and dropped off the priceless technological artifact with the gear father of the town. And then they went their separate ways. Kira and Asher went to the casino, where they met a surly elf who would not allow them in, but did let them know that Garmin Ulrith had been speaking to a woman with purple hair about 2 weeks ago. Then Brixby and Vargas went to Garmin Ulrith's house with Dolga, and between the three of them, they broke down one door, picked the lock on another door, tossed the place, and eventually found a hidden safe in the upstairs bedroom. Brixby checked it for traps. There were no high-tech or mechanical traps in there, and once he popped the lock, a spike shot through and nearly killed him. Vargas, showing extreme concern for his dear friend, went through and started reading the gossip he found in the safe, which turned out to be a note from a mysterious M in extraordinarily neat handwriting, presumably to Garmin Ulrith, letting him know that he must protect the power relay and that he should deter anyone from trying to go under the Black Hill, either by diplomacy or by incapacitating them, whichever he found more convenient. And so that brings us back up to speed.
Just like to set the record straight on one thing. Vargas did disinterestedly ask if Brixby was okay before rifling through the contents of the safe.
That's true.
It's true.
And I mean, I value that self-interest as Brixby Redtail. I support it. He held the letter over my face like I asked. Good friend.
Yeah, the way I remember it, he stepped on Brixby while he was getting to the safe. And
Where's his tail?
I mean, if we really think about it, wouldn't we expect Dame Judi Dench to have very neat handwriting?
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. I was trying to work an M from James Bond joke into this, and you beat me to it.
We never asked Dolga. Trying to remember last week, but I don't think we asked Dolga about the symbol, but we certainly didn't know anything. She seems a vaguely religious sort.
Well, if you do ask Dolga about it, she's just as perplexed as you are. She's never seen that symbol before in her life.
Well, it seems that this has yielded, not to put a too fine a point on it.
He points to the gaping hole in his face.
But I think if we've gotten everything we're going to get, I also think that I require healing.
Yes, it might be a good idea to head back to the temple, wait for them to get back as well instead of going to the casino, just in case if Garmin ambushed us along the way. He kind of looks down at Brixby with his 3 HP. No offense, but I'm not sure how good you'd be in a fight in this condition.
It's funny that you think I'm good in a fight in any condition, but I'll take it. Dolga, will you go to the casino while we go back to the temple? If they're still there, could you tell them to come and meet us at the temple? If they aren't, keep an eye out.
Seems a bit odd to be giving the ostensible leader of the town errands to run for you, but I suppose I'm not doing anything else today, whatever.
I mean, I am just a rat on his deathbed who hurt himself deeply trying to care for the people of this town. But, no, I understand you probably have important paperwork and hammer-related activities.
Did you try rolling for perception to check for traps?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It was mechanical, but it was low-tech, and I'm more of a high-tech kind of guy. Primitive technology, though. Got a blind side for it, obviously.
As he points again to the
Literally.
missing eye. Yeah, this is good. I mean, I don't really want to be enucleated in game, but it is a whole nother level of lowbrow humor that I'm here for.
I apologize. I didn't mean to be so haughty in my current state. It's just that I assume a woman of your stature doesn't want to be tasked with hospitaling a wounded rat such as myself. I've spilt enough blood on this man here, and he me. In a totally normal way, I should say, that I feel comfortable with him bringing me back, and you, with your authority, keeping an eye on everything at the casino.
So he'll just sigh and say, well, I'll see you later. Try not to get yourselves killed in the meantime.
No promises.
As far as Kira and Asher go, I imagine that the trip to the casino didn't take all that long, especially compared to completely trashing a house. So where did y'all head after that?
Ice cream. Or fantasy ice cream.
So that might have been what Kier wanted to do. Asher was really curious at elf woman whose name we didn't inquire. Let's call her Elphaba. The holy symbol she described, not recognizing it. Is there a library in town by chance that Asher could go study at? Take a peek at the old religious iconography section?
Let's see. Let's consult the old town gazetteer. Do we have a library? Yeah, it doesn't look like there is a dedicated library in town.
This is why you have teens hanging out on the beach, raising heck, not in after-school programs, not, hanging out with Fantasy Giroux at a fantasy library.
If only they had that sweet, sweet research bonus.
Yeah. Well, and Asher would turn to Kira. We've certainly asked enough of Gearfather Kite already this day. Perhaps we could take a short trip to see if Father Radley has any insight on this symbol or some books I could search through if he's not too busy with his underground entertainment.
Maybe if he is busy, we can just sort of check up on that, because it seems like something we should look into. Yeah, let's go visit.
So you said you were heading to the Chapel of the Wanderer?
Yeah.
Yes. And as we're walking, Kira will be thinking to herself and then say, so I've heard before that, well, maybe not Garmin, but not Garmin, I guess just the Rope Fists in general, have been maybe working with the Technic League for a while. I never really thought about it because that seemed fake. We don't like them, but I guess we don't really like the Rope Fists either. Do you think maybe that's why Garmin was talking to that lady?
Perhaps so. We don't know for certain whether she is part of the Technic League or not, I suppose, but it does seem as likely as anything else.
I don't remember ever hearing about any ladies with purple hair before the torch went out.
Yes, I don't like that we have so many more questions than we do answers, but I suppose Mylan Radley is perhaps an opportunity to answer at least this one question about the symbol.
So heading over to the Chapel of the Wanderer. Again, it's a quiet time of day, not a lot of people at a temple. But Mylan is out back digging away, digging more graves in the boneyard behind the temple, maybe whistling a tune to himself, which I'm not going to do because that would be embarrassing. As opposed
we could put it in post.
As opposed to all the other voices I do on here, which are totally not embarrassing.
Right. I would say immersive and creative.
Other than Parda, there has not been a death in town in a while. Who is he digging all these graves for?
And maybe he's just getting ready. Someday those bones will land in a spiral. But he'll look up when you approach. He's standing, knee deep in a grave. And he'll sort of grunt and say, "Need more healing, do you?"
No, we, in fact, haven't taken a single scratch today. Well, that's not true. No, at the moment we're fine, Kira and I. I'm sure my companions are also likewise uninjured, capable adventurers as they are. I was actually hoping that your reputable intellect on things religious might solve a mystery for us. There's a symbol that was described to us that I can't recall having ever heard anything about. It's this sort of a stylized U shape that's thicker at the ends and like a straighter line across the bottom. Does that holy symbol mean anything to you?
And he'll stick his shovel down into the ground and lean on it to think for a second, and he will make a knowledge religion. And he makes a bit of a face, and he'll hold his hand up and kind of draw the U shape in the air and look at the space where it would be. Were there anything there other than, the air his finger displaced? And then he'll say, "I don't believe that's any holy symbol known to Galarian. You must be mistaken. Perhaps it's a symbol of some group or some cult or something."
Well, I certainly trust your knowledge. It's far more expansive than my own. Do you have any texts, perhaps, that I could comb through about, well, if you have anything on cults or religious associations? I wouldn't mind doing the study and the legwork myself. I don't expect to uncover something that you did not know, of course. But, well, anything is possible, I suppose.
I'm afraid in a backwater like this, we don't keep too much of a library around. We have the standard holy texts for your core deities, your Pharasma, of course, and Aomade and Shaylin and whatnot. But I don't believe you'll be finding anything about more obscure sects, which this would have to be, or perhaps a non-religious organization, perhaps a charity. I'm just spitballing here, I don't know.
Well, it's certainly worth the effort. Always good to check in and see how things are going here. It's a lot of graves you have dug, Father? Are you, just preparing for the worst?
Until the torches were lit, I believe this is the best use of my time. These are dark days.
Digging graves?
I'm merely waiting for the bones to land, as it were.
Yes. Well, I assure you we're doing what we can to lighten them, my friend. Thank you for your time. Unless, Kira, you have any questions for him. I don't mean to hog the scene. You're standing right there. Just off camera.
No, Kira's been pretty quiet. She's staring at the grave that he's standing in. Like, no, we can go.
Well, thank you, Father. And, well, Kira, perhaps we bother Gear Father after all. Unless you have other destinations you'd like. Unfortunately, our efforts to gain entrance to the casino were so fruitless that it took very little time out of our day.
We could try the casino again. We didn't really ask that hard. We just kind of gently insisted. And we could not as gently insist, although I guess they are just trying to go about their workday. Maybe we could visit Kite, and then we can just break into the casino really, really nicely for kindness.
Well, let's start with talking to Kite then.
Yeah, okay. To Kite. You probably don't need my help transitioning. I'll stop.
No, please keep it going.
All right, so we're heading over to the Temple of Bry. And I'd say at this point you're probably not too far ahead of the others, but you'll get there first, the two of you. And Gear Father's in the back somewhere.
Dulga is going to be pissed when she gets to that casino and there's nobody there. And when the people at the casino direct her to the other church.
Hello? Joram? Mr. Kite? Sir Kite? It's us again. Did you, and she'll be, like, secretive here. Do you still have the thing?
And he'll
Wink.
nod slowly and say, yes, It's only been a short time. It hasn't grown
I
legs
know,
and
but
walked
it's-
away that I know of.
Well, have you checked? Because it's pretty mysterious.
We can check right now.
Great, let's do that. Also, we had a question. We found some news of a thing that we think is kind of churchy and religious-like yourself, and we were wondering if you know anything about it. It's shaped like a U, but it's thick and flat. Both thick and flat. A thick, flat U.
While he's leading the way back to his office where he's got the continuum transfunctioner, he'll think about that holy symbol and say, that's nothing I can specifically call to mind. You were sure it was a holy symbol? It just doesn't sound familiar, and I would think I would have heard of something like that.
Maybe you don't know all the holy symbols. No offense.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, classic Kira. No, I'm sure that you're more than acquainted with all the holy symbols. But do you happen to have any texts or tomes that I might be able to pore over? Just on the off chance there's something obscure or old that I could look through. I know there's not a formal library in town, although I have the suspicion that might be a good thing for the youths of the future.
Well, we've got a few things here and there in the back. You can comb through. I don't know that you'll find anything specific, but let's go for it. He'll let you in his office where he's got the power relay sitting on his desk, basically, with his church chair, like his little priest throne thing basically up in front of it so he can examine the thing. And he's got just this huge array of tools and gears and cogs just like all over the place. It's a total mess. And he's got like diagrams and blueprints like splayed out all over the place and tacked up to the walls. And he has a couple of bookshelves. And there's lots of books in there. A lot of it's kind of greasy looking and stuff. Like it's fairly well used.
Right after he takes them back there, we come through the door and look around, and Vargas goes, "They're not here. We should go check the casino."
Just continues dragging Brixby by his tail, just back down the stairs.
Yeah, but no, we probably show up pretty soon after that.
Like, Asher's content to flip through pages while everybody else meets up and talks, assuming we hear them arrive. What would I need to roll on that, if anything?
It'd be another knowledge religion.
Okay, I haven't used the portal dice much outside of combat. Who knows what could happen?
Alright, portal dice.
Something tells me it's like DC 55 and we're going to find out at the end of book 6. But, maybe not. It's the highest number I've seen in ages, but it's only a dirty, well, I guess it wouldn't be dirty. It's a 21 total. Keep all that in. It's gold.
It's a mostly clean 21.
Yeah. It's a 16 on the dice, plus 5 for 21. Unless I get any circumstance bonuses being in the study of a Gearfather. I mean, like I say, a plus 19.
Well, this is unfortunately not really much of a library mechanically speaking. And the kinds that would give you a bonus to this sort of thing are generally more impressive than some guy's office, but you can say with some confidence in studying these texts that this is not any holy symbol of any deity that is, commonly known, or no one that you've ever heard of, no one that is mentioned in any of the holy texts they have here. So whatever it is, it's out there.
Well, I do appreciate you letting me utilize your study. It's a puzzle, to be sure, a mystery to be solved.
Of course. Now, this device, you're sure you don't want me to turn it back on?
I am very sure, yes.
Only for like a minute.
It made a lot of people sick for like a lot of days.
Yeah, but what if it was just like for a minute?
Make a lot of people sick for a minute?
We were requested by the town council to have this placed safely where both would be hidden and also not turned on. So please, despite your curiosity, professionally, I'm sure, please refrain from turning on the device until we have had the opportunity to truly ascertain what it can do and if there might be a way to operate it without causing anybody pain or harm. And I'd be happy to roll a social roll for that.
I don't think you need one. Just sort of look sad about it and maybe kick some dust on the floor.
Sorry that it's so upsetting to not hurt people, but we live in wild times.
Well, it has some displays on the side here, and I was wondering if it would provide some sort of a status update where it powered on, and we could copy the information down. But I understand the headaches were quite a burden, and I can only imagine if the worst things this thing could do, given another chance.
It was decidedly unpleasant the closer we got to the device. I don't have any desire to be near it when it's made operational again, personally. But if we do, perhaps I should even say when we do know more, we'll be happy to give you a chance to examine it, once it's safe to do so.
All right. He'll nod. Now everybody's here. What's the next step?
Healing Brixby. Yep. We're just going to throw my body right next to Connor's and just be like, rack him up, father. Just, yeah. No, honestly, when we enter, I think that it'll be one of those, like, Brix is drifting in and out of consciousness, so he's going to rely on Vargas to speak for him situations, which is rare.
He'll basically say, we discovered some rather interesting information at Garment's house, but unfortunately, as you can see, Brixby suffered a rather unfortunate accident, so if we could possibly get him some healing while I speak with you two.
Why didn't you heal him on the way here? His face looks really bad. Can he hear me? Sorry, Brix. His face looks really bad.
We don't generally hear with our eyes and nose, so I still got 2 of these.
You look really bad, and I'm pretty sure you have healing potions. It seems like it's appropriate to use them when you don't have an eye.
We absolutely do not have any disposable consumables or dumpies, as the kids call them. We, unfortunately, are just at the mercy of the kindness of our religious community.
And with that, there's a overdramatic fainting gesture.
And Vargas also shares everything from the house with the other two. The note and all the stuff in it.
While Vargas is explaining that, Jorm will channel enough times to bring Brixby back up to full and reinstate his face.
Yeah. Good face.
Canonically, Kira's uninterested in the letter until Brixby has a face.
Faced up.
He looks a lot more like Nicolas Cage now, though.
Nice. What a
Get
get.
up to touch my face, start laughing. Oh, man, I just watched that movie. Fantastic.
On purpose. Having the letter and the envelope in hand, Asher would just sort of point out the seal to Kite and say, well, this symbol does seem to be showing up recently. I do hope to determine what it is.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Well, regardless, as he mentioned, we sent Dolga, and I think it'd be rude to leave her there unless you think there's nothing else to be gained at the casino.
They're hiding something. I don't know if they know it.
Well, I can tell you one thing about Dolga. She's good at opening doors.
I can open
And
doors.
yes, let's return there.
It's true, you can't open doors with the best of them.
It's going to be a door opening contest. It's a door off.
It's
We
door
get
off.
a door off.
We don't have any libraries or any of that high thinking around here, but come Fire Day, we go down, have a door off right in the center of town. Here for it.
It's in the door district on the south end of town. All right, well, heading back out to the casino, you find the place. You know where it is by now, but the front door is open. Looks like the door off is already over. But the door doesn't look like it's been broken. It looks like it was opened by normal means.
Are there people inside now? Like, beyond the staff?
Inside, you find Delga and some rope fists, and that's it. Those are all the people.
She like playing video poker. I realize she's relatively old.
She's playing Keno. Dolga says, there's no one here, it appears. Garmin didn't come back this way. Well, there's a couple of rope fists just kind of milling about.
You didn't see a gaunt elven woman?
No sign of an elven woman. She turns back to the rope fist behind her. Boys, was there an elven woman here? They'll sort of look at each other and shrug, and one of them says, she left a while ago.
Cool. Did she say where she was going?
And they both shrug.
Is it a shrug to say, I'm not going to tell you, or a shrug because she didn't say? Use words. I'm finding myself getting less pleased with the situation.
Well, she didn't say. She's a weird one. She doesn't tell anybody anything.
Does Dolga know this woman?
Dolga will say, I believe I've seen her around town. She's not a local. She's not from here. I don't know where she came from.
Have you checked the office while you were here?
The door looks intact. I don't think she got in there.
Nothing's locked. I peeked in, but I didn't give it the old Ulrith special, as it were.
Perhaps we can see if anything appears to be missing or taken while we're thoroughly investigating.
So am I hearing a search of the office?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Office search.
Will we be taking 20?
What time is it? It's what, afternoon?
And yeah, by now it's early afternoon. You've burnt the morning, but not much more than that.
The group does want to take 20. I think Vargas will actually, lean up against the door and just keep an eye on these rope fists while everybody else searches.
Asher's perception is a flat 0, so he's not going to really add a whole lot of value to the take 20 either. Hey, rope fist man. Sorry I didn't catch your name. Which door did she leave out of? And also, what is her name? So I don't have to simply refer to her as gaunt elven woman.
Her name is Nick Shariel. And she went right out the front.
Thank you. It's probably... there haven't been a ton of customers, but I'm guessing the chance of finding her trail is probably not great. But Asher will take a peek, take a good look. Go the old survival. No, back to single digits. It's a 4 for a total of an 8. So unless she has the most incredibly distinctive feet and stomps around or left a note that says, I've gone to this location, I think we're out, and I can stop adding comedy gold to the radio.
Yeah, it appears that she hasn't left an appreciable trail walking out of this place and going who knows where.
Can we still check out the office?
Yeah, and the office door isn't locked at this point, and you can kind of tell going in there that somebody's already been through the desk and some of the boxes. So there's a bunch of papers out and stuff, but carefully going through everything and trying to look, it looks like there's not really anything particularly interesting here. There's spreadsheets tracking cash flows and cryptic notes on who has to be shaken down when, but it looks more like the sort of normal Ulrith business than anything else, and it looks like anything that was of any value is gone.
Well, he will come out of the office after, I guess, the 3 of us didn't find anything in there, and report to Asher and Vargas.
Seems that if there was anything in here, it was taken out recently and in a hurry, most likely. Search of this place as thorough as his house, which yielded a safe. Brought us nothing.
Sam, this room situation that I'm seeing back here, what is that?
That door that you pinged in the back of the office goes into the like behind the bar area up at the top of the map.
Okay.
Like here.
Cool. I wasn't sure if it was like a weird, like, yeah. All right. never
No,
mind.
you're
We'll
bumping
cut
up
that
against the limitations of RPG Maker 2003 right there, and it's transparency.
Say it ain't so.
Capacity. Maybe not the greatest. There's only 2 map layers in that version, so
out. Look, this is beautiful, and
we
I
do
love
what we
it.
can.
Asher.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
No, I was just going to continue to compliment this map. It's beautiful, and I wish the people at home could see it after Sam denigrated his work. That's all I want to say.
That's a Patreon content right there. Asher would go back to his new rope fist best friend and say, "This Nicshariel, is there any place she normally likes to go? Anywhere you think we might be able to find her? Does Garmin have a vacation home somewhere? If I were to look for either of them, say if they'd won a publisher's clearinghouse or something of that nature, where might I find them?" And I'll diplomacy. One of these days, you roll enough d20s. And you get a literal natural 20. So that brings my diplomacy to a 29.
Wow. So the one rope fist that you've clearly become close friends with over the past several minutes, says, "I don't know. Like I said, she didn't tell anybody anything. I mean, I think she used to be from, I don't know, out of town somewhere, some other city, but she's just always here. I get here in the afternoon, she's already here. I leave at the end of the night, she's still here. Never seen her go anywhere else, really."
Fair. Last question I can think of for the moment, my good pal. Who's M? Did you ever hear of Garmin mention an M?
He shakes his head. "I don't think so. Could be his mom, maybe?"
I hadn't thought of that.
Guess that's a pretty short word. You wouldn't really...
M for Mima. Does a 4 sense motive give me, like, obviously we're friends now and he wouldn't lie to me, so I probably believe it.
Yeah, with a 4 cent motive, I'd say, it seems like he's got no reason to lie to you.
I mean, why would he? My one good roll's happened already for this session. Please, anyone, save me.
I have I believe a negative. No, that's the skies that has a -7. I only have a -4 to this one, so I don't think I'd be much for help.
Right, here's the thing.
Brix will present his small, non-imposing form from behind Asher.
We're standing here with the two-handed wielding semblance of law in this town. Engaging by the burn I see on the sides of your hands, or the fact that you answer to rope fists, tells me that you're associated with a criminal organization that is at the center of this investigation. I can imagine, inside a strong woman like this, she might be able to find enough sympathy for one of you. Now, which one of you wants to start talking?
And he has nothing for intimidate. But he's angry. And there's no way that I can parlay this as a bluff. But if anybody wants to back me up...
Yeah. I literally, Kira will just be like, yeah, but also hold a sword.
You know what, just for the heck of it, I'm gonna roll and see what I get with my -4 bluff.
Yeah, I'm going to say Dolga aids on the intimidate.
All right.
To not aid, that is a 5.
Neg 1 on this roll. After the negative one, that's a 13. So.
+2.
Oh, +2. So 17? You didn't, Vargas, right?
No, I got a 5.
Yeah, 17. Intimidate from the rat.
Then the two rope fists look at each other, and the one who hasn't talked too much says, I don't know what you want us to say. We don't know nothing. We don't know what M. We don't know where these people went. What are you looking for?
Honestly, an outlet for my frustration. Mostly, I think I understood that you guys had nothing to say a little while ago. I just mad your boss, my face, anyway.
I thought you were just making Sam come up with another NPC voice.
Yes, well, that is
Like
its
Sam's
own
voice.
reward in a way.
It's a glandular issue.
I mean, clearly that's why he's not the one that does most of the talking.
I would also not talk.
Well, this is probably grasping for straws, but I wonder if we could speak to the proprietors of the Evercandle, the place where Sandville was staying, if any of them might have had Nick Shariel stay if she is from out of town. I don't know if she has her own domicile, but at this point I'm certainly open to suggestion. That's the only idea I could come up with.
That avenue might also yield more information about this M, too. That's a good idea, Asher. She did stay in town.
All right. Well, yeah. We're going to bring in the heavy hitter here, Orange Creamsicle. I mean, a 14's better than most things I've rolled in the last ever. That's a 23 diplomacy.
Not too shabby. So, was that specifically Nick Shariel or the purple-haired woman?
If it has to be for one, I was honestly going towards Nick Shariel as someone who's been in town more and more likely to have been seen than M, who we don't know of having been around as long.
Well, I would say with 23, and I rolled the D4 for how long it took, and it got a 4, so we're talking 4 hours. But it was a good roll, so I'll give you results on both of them. And for for Nick Shariel, what you know about her basically is that she seems to have been kind of lockstep with Garmin Ulrith. She's an out-of-towner who's been here for probably a couple years, but she's only ever seen like at Garmin's businesses, at his at the Silver Disc Hall, at his warehouses. Nobody seems to know where she lives. If she may just stay at these businesses, it's not clear. And then as far as M goes, or the purple-haired woman, provided they are the same person, you do get confirmation from several people that they were in town briefly about 2 weeks ago. They came in with a pretty big group of orcs and rat folk and equipment. They set up a stall on Fire Day one day. It was unclear what they were selling. Nobody seems to have kept track of that information. But after that one Fire Day, they were all gone. Yeah, at least a couple dozen people. They looked like scrappers, but she did look like some kind of religious figure.
A sizable group like that. They didn't stay anywhere, or I'm trying to think, like, would they have to register a stall with the town council? Or does anybody set up and sell stuff? Yeah, but I guess that's all we found.
Yeah, I think the stall thing is kind of informal based on your experience with Garrett dumping a bag of scrap on the ground and calling it a stall.
This is kind of his style, you know? You can't put Garrett in a box.
It's true.
Or a stall. Well, I don't think we've really solved any mysteries with this information. Certainly spent quite a bit of time asking around, and perhaps these are things we'll have to puzzle out later. Perhaps we I don't know, should we just rest and go back under the hill tomorrow? And perhaps if we find this purple-haired woman, if she is M, she'd be more obliged to answer some questions at the other end of my pistol.
You showed us the letter, yeah. Do we think... I mean, maybe he went down there, right? And if he's down there, maybe she's down there too, and they're just talking about how they failed to protect this box thing. So it sort of seems like if we think they're down there, we should hurry. But I don't cast any spells, and you all do, so maybe we have to take a nap first. Like a long nap.
I think we also have to discuss the merits of leaving the power relay with Father Kite, and by that extension, endangering him and Connor, if this is at all connected to a group that is larger than just Garmin and this woman under the hill.
Even if it is just the two of them, we don't know for certain that Garmin went under the hill. He could be waiting for us to go back under before attacking the church. Or even just sneaking in under invisibility and stealing back the relay.
Yeah, I know it's unwieldy and an unpopular item in this group, but I would be very nervous about it falling back into anybody else's hands. And we might be the most capable, if not very capable fighters this town has.
Go to logo for a second. But yeah, I didn't really get the impression, despite the fact that these guys are some high enough level to give us water breathing and heal my broken face, but that they might not be able to defend it. I don't know. I would just really hate to leave an artifact with someone and have it be like, it got stolen while you were gone. Oh, and Connor's dead. Like,
question for the GM. We just happen to have come into possession of almost 2,500 gold pieces. Would there be somewhere in town that would sell a bag of holding? A level 1 bag of holding?
Is that how much that is?
Yes, that is the cheapest one. It can hold up to 250 pounds.
Nice.
I like it.
Well, let's go back to the old trusty gazetteer.
I'm assuming we have 100 gold left over from our other stuff. We might not, though.
We have 2731. Also, 6 silver pieces and 3 copper pieces.
All right.
And 10% off from local vendors, right? Does that go towards that magical item?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, would that go towards a magical item?
It would. And the 20... Is it the 10% discount?
20%.
oh, that 20% discount, the 30% one that Dolga gave us was very kind. Half off, you say?
20 in the loot sheet, Sam.
It's 20%? Mm-hmm. Well, the 20% discount takes the bag of holding under the base value for the town, so it's available. You don't even have to roll for it.
Don't even
nice.
roll. Adding a loot.
I love this idea. Yes, you're right, Brixby. Far be it from me to endanger anyone willingly, and certainly this artifact seems to be very important to parties that care nothing for the well-being of this town. We should take it with us.
Man, out of character, Dro, that was such a great idea.
Yeah, dude. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to say it, because I feel like Vargas would 100% not think of a bag of holding. So if someone else wants to be the in-character person to come up with that idea.
And weirdly enough, Father Kite at this exact moment says, well, if you're going to carry that, you should try a special type of magical bag, says the guy who cannot remember his NPC voice for anything, because it's not my job. Thank God.
Maybe you should hold it in some kind of bag. I think they have bags for that. Reusable ones. Trying to cut down on the plastic.
A brilliant idea.
We said it's 2,500 plus 20%. Well, minus 20%.
Yeah, so that would be 2 Gs.
Sounds like G's well spent.
Yeah.
Since we're heading out to grab a bag, do we need anything else? I realize we just had a shopping episode recently.
No, I think I have everything I need.
Bricks is otherwise good. He just needs a rest.
Yeah, I mean, so Garrett has like random scrap pile stuff. That one shop seemed to have at least that comically expensive mask. We didn't happen to see any like white e-picks or like other super convenient lockpicking items or other tech affordable consumables.
No, nothing outside of the sort of normal consumables.
Oddly, if we'd only gotten access to the office before Nick Shario cleared it out, he had a big stack of them.
He actually had everything, all the loot for the rest of the AP in there, and now it's scattered throughout the world.
Yeah.
Let's buy a bag.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Let's go visit Sandville.
That was my first thought. You said those books look greasy. I'm like, oh no. He snuck back here.
I know.
Well, he was poking around, but
Which would be worth filing, but like, well, I don't know. That man is difficult to get anything out of.
Well, yeah,
He's
it's all the
slippery,
grease.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, no, he's literally like, I feel like it is.
Also, wait, are we buying the bag from Sandville? I think it's gonna
The
stink.
bricks? No, we don't want anything that Sandville's put in a bag, for sure. Yeah. I mean, aside from buying a bag, I don't need anything else before we like go to bed.
Well, it's already on the loot sheet, so we can't go back now. A lot of complicated formulas in there.
Question. That's probably a super shot in the dark. But like Connor's a real smart dude, even though his brain's a bit infested with tiny robots. While we were there, or if we return, I mean, Ash would ask him about the symbol on the off chance that he'd recognize it.
yeah, I think with his intelligence damage, which is Jorm can't get entirely rid of any given day, and the difficulty of the check, if the check is even possible, Connor doesn't have anything new for you.
Yeah.
Are they treating you well here, Connor? Is the food okay?
Everything's a bit greasy.
Well, cheer up. We'll find a cure, I'm sure. Roll a bluff.
It's gonna end up that symbol really is a horseshoe, and we need to roll like knowledge agriculture or something, and Sam is just refusing to tell us.
Craft blacksmithing, Kira.
I'm happy to roll literally my one thing. Kira would not have that idea, but I'm giving myself a point because I never get to roll. Oh, that's a 7. Okay. Alright, damn. Let's check this out. Pretty sure I have like a 1 on blacksmith thing because, spoiler alert, I have the worst intelligence. Oh, I have a +2. Hey, that's a 9.
Yeah, with
Can you just give me something to be nice, though?
no,
For the fans, Sam.
the funny looking symbol. I mean, it kind of looks like a tongs or something, but
She's gonna come back to it the group. Like, wait, hang on, let me try. I'm gonna take it and study it for a little bit. It kind of looks like tongs. Hand that back. You're welcome.
takes a bow. You calling it a night?
Yeah.
Breaking back into Connor's place.
I was
sleeping
gonna say,
in
time
his
to
bed.
break into that kid's house.
For the love of all the gods, there's a literal tavern.
We're really more comfortable here.
Kira just pops up in her bedroom window.
Yeah, because she's back at the house now, right? Or is she staying with Connor still at the church?
She's back and forth. You didn't see her at the
Say we're gonna
church
burst
just
in.
then.
She's gonna be in her room, and Kira's like, "This is my room. What are you doing?"
I live here now.
Ooh, awkward. We actually moved in since your dad is incapacitated. You can sleep on the couch, or there's like a tavern next door. Just pop your head in there. You're of legal age.
Well, historically, we haven't always clarified our plans for the next day. I'm going to go back to my room that I'm still canonically paying for at the Evercandle. Why don't we meet back here in the morning at 7 o'clock, and then we can go get water breathing cast on us and go into the mountain.
Are you sure you don't want to stay here, Asher? You never want to stay here. Is it because we've broken into someone's house? Because she doesn't mind, right? She won't actually ask Val. It's just adding to the mystery / allure.
Yes, I'm going to go back to my room at the Evercandle. But you all have the most pleasant of evenings. Please try not to do anything illegal, and we'll meet back up in the morning.
Yes, as much as I enjoyed the stay here the last 2 nights, I'm going to head back to the Temple of the Wanderer. I'm not sure exactly what it is that Radley is doing underneath there that's so loud every night, but I've kind of gotten used to it, and it helps you fall asleep.
Well, I am sad that my day of questionably legal investigation has come to an end. But provisional authority is provisional. So, just kicks a rock. Let's go break into the kid's house then. One last crime for the day.
No, we can go to the tavern. But Brix is gonna stay with Kira. He doesn't have a place to sleep. He's not going back to Sandville's house. That's weird as heck. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do something normal like break into the kid's house.
Yeah, let's break into the kid's house. We'll start by knocking because we're kind. Kira will start by knocking because she's kind. And if there's no answer, then yeah, just get on in there.
Yeah, Val will answer, and she'll be like, "Hey,
Hey Val, can we sleep in your house? It's just the two of us, and we'll leave a note, and it will not be creepy."
well, you don't have to leave a note because I'm here, but yeah, I guess. You know
Thanks.
the tavern's right there, and you guys can stay there if you want.
We're
Right.
not comfortable there. We're not comfortable there, Brix.
Yeah, we took someone's arm off in there.
He's okay.
I mean, it's not.
That was a different building.
Oh well, it's fine.
There's 3 different buildings. The house where they live, the foundry where they do like metal stuff, and then
With like
the
a
tavern.
dozen bedrooms.
For some reason, I thought the tavern and the foundry itself were attached.
Nah, they're
Let's
just
switch
next to
together?
each other.
So they call the tavern the foundry, even though the foundry is adjacent to the tavern. So what do they refer to the foundry next to the foundry as, Sam?
Also, the foundry. It's kind of an
Lowercase
Abbott
f.
and Costello thing.
Okay, well, your building system is very confusing, so again, we would really feel better if we could spend the night here. This is just called the house, or sometimes the kid's house.
We
You're the
actually
kid.
call the house the foundry too. It's kind of like a little joke. Get it? No. All right. But yeah, you're welcome to stay the night. You
It's
guys
for her
didn't.
safety.
You guys didn't give up on relighting the torch, right? It seems like it's been a while since you've gone under there.
I mean, we spent the first part of it finding your dad. Remember?
Yeah, but That was like 2 days ago.
Do you feel that awful splitting headache, right? In your bones? No, me neither. Right, that's what we were doing. In between breaking into your house or whatever one of these buildings here, I don't know. Honestly, I can't keep track of how many properties you and your father own. We are getting way off script here. I'm gonna just reel myself back in, edit this out.
No, keep it. It's fine. There's some sarcasm allowed there.
Brixby and Val just have a fist fight.
They're the same height.
Honestly, probably the first evenly matched fight for Brixby up until this point.
Oh, don't undersell her.
All right, I'm going to full attack the child to make a point to Jeff. No, I'm kidding.
The only thing we know is she has catch off guard and can do some damage with a skillet.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forget about that. But all jokes aside, I do imagine that probably after we get over the can we stay in your house, Brix and probably, I imagine both of us would be interested in hearing any more updates on, we've spoken to Connor, but how is she doing? Like,
How are you holding up? I know your dad's pretty much the same. You're a real tough kid holding this down for him.
Well, I mean, it's a lot better knowing he's alive than having to wonder about him. So, that's good. Obviously, I wish he could come home. We'll figure it out. Somebody will.
Damn. All right, well. Yeah.
We'll help, Val. Everyone's kind of cranky because of various reasons, so we can help. It's been a little bit since I've seen my dad, too. So, I get it. And, we'll fix it. And then everyone can just go back home, and I guess my friends will, I don't know what they do outside of town. They'll do that. High five. Or fantasy high five.
She'll give you a high five. Well, I mean, everything you guys have done so far has been working really well. I mean, you got my dad back. You got rid of the town-wide headache. If anybody's going to save us, it's going to be you guys and, your friends, the guy with half a face and the cowboy.
We call ourselves the very capable four, because there's four of us, and do you get it? Do you get it?
I get it, but there's 5 of you. What about Kingsley?
Oh, that's a good point. You know what? I'll bring it up to the team.
He's extremely capable. Echelon above.
It's actually Kingsley and the very capable 4.
Honestly, like the Temptations.
I'm worried by that. If he's in it, which one of us isn't?
I liked it.
All right, so I think we're gonna, if nobody has anything else, I think that's calling it a day on the 11th of Eridus. And y'all going to sleep for the night.
I didn't carry any bodies today. Look at us.
It's a record.
We're improving.
Yeah, it's gonna say.
Vargas cannot say the same.
Vargas had to carry the rat back to the church.
I'll share that honor. That's fine.
All right. Morning comes. It's bright and early. It is the 12th of Eridus. What's the plan?
We actually had one this time. Ha ha. Asher does his morning routine. It's mysterious. And then he arrives outside of Foundry, the house version, just before 7 a.m.
Same with Vargas. He'll wake up. He'll do his little thing that he does to get his spells all ready for the day. And he will head over. He probably meets up with Asher on the way since they're staying basically across the street from each other.
Yeah, Brix is going to prepare his spells for the morning.
Kira's not preparing any spells, so she will roll out of bed at 6:57.
All right, we're all together. The night passed quietly, and you're ready to go under the hill. Are you getting water breathing this time? Or are you skipping it because you're too good for water breathing?
Oh, we're getting water breathing.
Get that water breathing.
Well, companions, I think it's been long enough. Let's relight the torch today, huh?
The music builds to a dramatic crescendo at that statement. And then I go to bed.
Good night, Sam.
Odds against the machine. Against the machine.
Hot Against the Machine is property of its creators, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are properties of Paizo Publishing. Please visit them at paizo.com for more information. Theme Against the Machine, written and performed by our own Zach. Please consult the show notes for additional music and sound effect licensing information.
Hey, I mean, Acid Splash is a cantrip, my guy. You could just acid that thing to death. It's down to 82 HP. I mean, at that point, we could have a good half ep of Acid Splash.